There you go. Your north picture of the Fossil Ridge. Because we already have a south picture. Check out the blue spruce. It is huge. There's a lot of dead Engelmann and Douglas from the pine beetle. But the blue spruce is going to take over. Over here you got aspen taking over. See, you can see all the dead beyond. The aspen are taking over here. And the blue spruces. Yay, blue spruces. Always have such a hard time on ascent. Any kind of upslope. And I'm slow. That's pretty. Huffing and puffing. There's an old beaver dam down there just fishing that stream. But I've always been this way. Always had a hard time going up. I can run down. Have a hard time going up. I don't know why I'm so breathless lately. Paul says we sit around too much, but there's just no trails. There's some, but you gotta have an ATV to get to them. And then they're short little things. You can't share the road if you're a hiker. I don't even see horses out with the ATVs and dirt bikes. I joined a group, Great Old Dames for the Wilderness. And they sound like they do some good work and support do a lot of lobbying. I mentioned it's been around since '89, I'm told, on their website, which is cool. So, trying to be more hopeful about how people are turning it around. ATVs need to be controlled, and they need help. My friend Viola told me that her son's got a relative who brings a whole semi of these things out here from Kansas. That's crazy. Paul taking a picture of me taking him a picture. No, me taking a picture of him taking a picture. It's old broads for the wilderness, not dames. Doesn't matter. They're old. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Whoops, tangled. That could have been a fun video. He's never seen this, so he's going to eat it. Is it bitter? It's pretty.
No. It's
Super
very,
pretty.
It's lightly, very fleshy.
Yeah?
Very lightly sweet. And almost no tartness.
Huh.
So it's not one.
Oh, that's okay. I think it's pretty. Oh, there's some over there. There's raspberries. There's not a lot of raspberries because of the dry, but
Some bears miss them out.
yeah. Pretty Brook crossing. The aspens are really big. I mean, they're like way up there. It's lovely. Oh, that one's having trouble. Yeah, rust. Look, it's pretty. Here's another plant I've not seen. Look, it's a little flower. See, a little flower. But these are like, almost like Chinese lanterns. See, you can kind of squish them a little bit. They're kind of squishy. Just think it goes down to a little tiny green at the bottom, basically. I don't know what that is. Another brook. There he is up there. Pretty. There is a smell here that's beautiful. It's a very light perfume. Slightly, it almost smells to me like a lighter version of mimosa. A little mimosas. I don't know if it's a combination of everything in the water or something's blooming. But I keep catching whiffs of it. I wish I could do smell-o-vision. Another plant. Here's another plant we don't know what it is. See this little sort of soft, you know, it's actually kind of rubbery feeling. It feels rough and rubbery. And it comes up almost like asparagus. I don't know what that is. It's very pretty. It's very birded by this brook. And it looks like, you know, I think that's, looks very like you could live out here, right? The clover is from horses. but you can. And I think part of our problem is that the pioneers thought that this was a forever place that you could keep using and using and it would last forever. Garden of Eden, they used to call it. They thought they were going to the Garden of Eden. Well, they were, in one way. Fossil Ridge leads up to Gold Camp. And that's where those 3 people died. I suspect from either the drinking bad water or eating mushrooms. They said they probably starved. I met the young man. He was eating something green and he was walking really fast, and I remarked on that, and he laughed and said, yeah, I can walk really fast. And then they're dead. Nobody reported them missing for 9 months, which I found very disturbing. But yeah, you can't live out here. Not without human beings. They struggled. They died in droves when they came west. So this is for the animals. This is for the birds, the plants, the trees, the water. It's just what it is. And human beings never needed to come here. And this beauty exists. It just is. So why human beings have to insinuate themselves on everything. I would not mind if the wilderness were closed and you could not hike or horse or do anything in here. Because this is where life will come back. And it will come back fast if we leave it alone. I heard the term citizen scientist, and I've always been of a scientific bent. And psychology is a science, but in human behavior, I don't know what a citizen scientist is, but I've watched the changes out here for 30 years. No, almost 40 years. 20 years ago, you didn't see ATVs or dirt bikes anywhere. Virtually none. They were a work vehicle. So I would like to see the wilderness closed, the national forests curtailed, moratoriums, let's say, have a moratorium where they're closed off for a season, summer, winter, or very, very limited. So scientists can really look at this without the constant interference of human beings. It's the only way we're going to do this. They do it in Africa. They saved the gorilla. They hired the hunters to be watch out for poachers, which I thought was awesome. We should do that too. If these groups want to continue to use these places and they want their grandchildren to use them and to enjoy the beauty and the animals to come back and thrive, we're going to have to put a moratorium. Forest by forest, state by state, something. Forest Service will let stuff get destroyed because they really can't stop people due to lack of staff. And then they'll just block it off and say it needs to be rejuvenated. We see that all the time. So use it up. Ooh, what's that? Bird. Just so beautiful. Even in its change, even as it changes, we are of nature too. Nature created us. And we have a flaw. We have a flaw. Call it free will, hubris, so-called higher consciousness. We are marvels of nature. I think so. But we're also extremely dangerous and destructive. And I think philosophers debated how we can be both and. I'm tired of the debate. I think all of us need to get on the same sheet of music and save these places. You know, I was feeling better, and then a hot flash comes and it's all over. 65 years old, still getting fucking hot flashes. So then I sweat like a Percheron. I'm like red. Look at this. I'm sweating like crazy. Soaked my hat already. I don't even think we've been in a mile. Paul says, oh, it looks like it's opening up. It always looks like it's opening up. A flat spot. Always looks like that. Got some breeze. Oh, that's much better. Oh, I'm just no good at going uphill. And it is extremely warm and humid. I got up there 70% humidity in the trailer in Meru. Nice little breeze. Trying to keep the back of my head from pounding, which it's doing right now. So, take it slow. I probably broke my thermostat when I was a kid when I fell out that window. Some kind of brain damage. Or it was my mother letting us run around in the Oklahoma summers. Hot as hell, red as a beet, dirt rings on my neck, and no water. We didn't get water. We had no water outside. We'd go for hours and hours. I think my kidney shut down because I didn't get any water when I was a kid. No worries. I'm healthy. I went to a doctor. Everything is great. I'm just a little overweight and I lost that 15 pounds and the doctor was absolutely pleased. But I know I've toned up. Never mind Paul. He's a guy. Look at him. Same size he was when he was 18. It's disgusting. He's just not getting gray hair, which I really like.
Somebody's got to be the freak in the family.
He's a good kisser.
Oops, that's all of us. I'm nothing special.
There's a little tree there. Okay, but look at this one. It goes all the way.
It's got to be 120.
From down there, all the way up there. Now it looks distressed. If you see the tips, they're brown. So I don't know if that was solar radiation that burned them, this year's growth, or the fact that the pine beetle, misnamed, should be fir beetle, because Engelmann and Douglas are all firs, but probably beetles. So slow growth here. It has not rained, but just now, the last few days, since the snow melted. So it's hard to get a good growth on it. Look at that thing. What is it? Trees start growing exponentially. Okay, so I thought I could get away from a motor. That sounds like life or flight. Oh, damn. Switchback. Came up that. My head was pounding, so I stopped. There's some view. Maybe it'll open up. Gray jays visited us. Whew. Whose idea was this anyway? You rat bastard.
I don't know. I forget.
Hi. We are of one mind. We both thought of it. Yeah. Oh boy, here we go. 1.8 miles up there. Look where we are. It keeps going. It does flatten out after this little switchback. But I'd made it. 1.8 miles. 1,100 feet. So it's quite different up on the hill. Not as much undergrowth. Trees look okay. There's no water up here, of course. But isn't this amazing how different it is? Just dry. Nothing really growing. Yeah. And then dry.
Yeah, I'm straight.
Lush. Dry. Lush. Yeah, look at all this soil in the making. I can tell these most likely died from lack of water. There's a big one. It's a lot of good soil. It needs soil up here. Oh, look at the little tree. And there's some aspen. These trees are just thirsty. Not enough snow. I mean, they got some this year, but we need that every year for the next 20. Yeah. Soil in the making. Okay, so we did 2.25 miles in, and it's going to be pretty much like this the rest of the way, and it starts going up to the ridge there. And watching the weather. So we're gonna turn around and go back. I can go down about half the time it takes me to get up. It was 1,400 feet in 2 hours. Uphill, 1,400 feet ascent, 2.25 miles in. That's about average for us. There have been times we've done 7 where we went 3.5 miles in, but it was like a super easy trail, no ascending. But so we got some little mountain chickadees and black-capped chickadees and little brown creepers up here. So they're liking the bugs. There's never much undergrowth up here. So that's Summerville into the Fossil Ridge Wilderness. Wish you could go further, but it's okay. Some man did. He blew by us and he didn't come back yet. But yeah, nice hike.